Failure is a universal experience, but not everyone responds to it in the same way. For most people, failure is a crushing blow, a personal indictment that shatters their confidence, defines their worth, and dictates their future. But for Sigma males, failure is something entirely different. It's not a life sentence, it's a lesson. Sigma males are bulletproof from failure because they don't tie their identity to success or setbacks. They don't let a loss destroy their self-belief, and they don't let a win make them complacent. They play the long game, knowing that every failure sharpens their instincts, refines their strategies, and toughens their mind. While most people panic when things fall apart, Sigma males stay composed, adjusting, learning, and preparing for their next move. What makes a Sigma male different is simple. He doesn't wait for permission to rise again. He doesn't rely on others to save him. And he doesn't sit around feeling sorry for himself. When something doesn't work, he pivots. When he falls, he gets back up. When the world counts him out, he proves them wrong on his own terms. In this exploration, we will delve into the 10 key reasons why Sigma males never truly fail. From their mastery of mental judo to their ability to thrive in chaos, Sigma males have developed a mindset that allows them to turn setbacks into stepping stones. Let's uncover the secrets behind their unbreakable resilience. 1. They are masters of mental judo. The Sigma male's approach to failure. Most people treat failure like a brick wall. They hit it, get frustrated, and either stop or keep banging their heads against it. But a Sigma male treats failure like an opponent in a fight. Not something to resist, but something to redirect. Judo isn't about overpowering an opponent with brute force. It's about using their own momentum against them. Sigma males apply the same principle to setbacks. When something goes wrong, they don't waste time whining or forcing a broken plan to work. They step back, analyze the situation, and flip the failure into an advantage, turning failure into fuel. Say a Sigma male loses a business deal, gets rejected, or sees a project collapse. Most people would panic, get discouraged, or blame bad luck. But a Sigma male studies a loss like a detective at a crime scene. What went wrong? What was the weak point? What was the hidden lesson? Instead of feeling defeated, he adjusts his strategy and comes back stronger. And here's where it gets interesting. Because he never fights failure directly, he never takes damage. While others get emotionally wrecked by setbacks, he treats them as data points, tools for improvement. The more failures he encounters, the sharper his instincts become. The advantage of emotional detachment. This is why Sigma males always seem unshaken. They're not immune to failure. They're just immune to its emotional weight. When life throws a punch, they don't flinch. They sidestep, grab hold of the momentum, and use it to launch their next move. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about outmaneuvering it. And that's why Sigma males keep rising when others fall. 2. They run solo, so they don't rely on weak links. The Sigma male's independence. Most people move through life chained to others, needy friends, unreliable colleagues, draining relationships. They convince themselves that success is a group effort, that they need constant support, validation, or permission to move forward. But a Sigma male understands a brutal truth. The more people you rely on, the more vulnerable you become. That's why he operates solo. Not because he hates people, but because he refuses to be slowed down by dead weight. He doesn't waste energy on fair-weather friends, manipulative allies, or weak-willed partners who collapse under pressure. He succeeds or fails on his own terms. No excuses, no blame, just pure accountability. The power of self-reliance. When you don't rely on weak links, something powerful happens. Your success becomes inevitable. You're no longer held back by someone else's laziness, fear, or indecision. You move at your own pace, unchained, completely free to make the bold moves others are too afraid to take. This doesn't mean Sigma males reject all connections. They just choose them with surgical precision. They don't surround themselves with people out of loneliness or obligation. They choose based on value, loyalty, and strength. If someone can't stand on their own 2 feet, they won't stand next to a Sigma male for long. The game changer is solitude. And here's the real game changer. When you master being alone, no one can control you. No one can hold you emotionally hostage. No one can pressure you into bad decisions. While others cling to toxic relationships out of fear of solitude, a Sigma male walks away without hesitation. He knows that depending on the wrong people is far more dangerous than depending on himself. That's what makes him bulletproof. He never has to wonder if someone will catch him when he falls, because he never lets himself fall in the first place. 3. They have a PhD in adaptability. The Sigma male's fluid mindset. Most people get crushed when things don't go as planned. They freeze, panic, or waste time feeling sorry for themselves. But a Sigma male operates on a different frequency. He understands one thing better than most. Nothing stays the same. Plans fall apart. People change. Opportunities vanish. And that's fine. Think of him like water. Put him in a cup, and he becomes a cup. Put him in a river, and he flows with the current. Block his path, and he finds a new way through. No resistance, no wasted effort, just movement. The advantage of quick adaptation. This is why failure never sticks to him. He refuses to stay in one place mentally. If something collapses, he doesn't sit around grieving. He adjusts, pivots, and keeps going. Most people fail because they fall in love with their original plan. They cling to it even when it's clearly not working. Sigma males don't have that weakness. If the strategy is failing, they don't force it. They scrap it and build a new one. No ego, no attachment, just pure adaptability. The Sigma male's evolutionary edge. And here's where they leave others in the dust. While most people waste months or even years stuck in frustration, Sigma males make quick, calculated moves. They don't waste time asking, "Why did this happen to me?" Instead, they ask, "What's the next move?" This ability makes them nearly unstoppable. You can strip them of their resources, take away their comforts, or throw them into the unknown. It doesn't matter. They will find a way to survive, rebuild, and thrive. Because at the end of the day, success isn't about having the perfect plan. It's about being able to create a new one the moment the old one fails. That's why Sigma males never stay down for long. They evolve too fast for failure to ever keep up. For they expect the worst, so they're never shocked. The Sigma male's realistic outlook. Most people walk through life hoping everything goes smoothly. They assume the road will be clear, the plan will work, and people will do what they say. And when things fall apart, because they always do, they panic, break down, or lose direction. Sigma males don't have that problem. Why? Because they expect the worst. They aren't pessimists. They aren't walking around with a doomsday mindset. But they understand reality. They know life is unpredictable, people are unreliable, and even the best laid plans can collapse overnight. The power of preparation. So instead of being caught off guard, they prepare. They don't just have a plan B. They have a plan C, D, and E. While others are shocked and scrambling when things go wrong, Sigma males are already in motion, executing their backup plan like it was original. They don't waste time crying over what should have happened. They adapt instantly because they already considered this possibility long before it happened. This mindset makes them bulletproof against failure. While others are emotionally shattered when things don't go their way, Sigma males simply nod and move forward. The advantage of mental preparedness. They don't let disappointment slow them down. They don't freeze when obstacles appear. They expect setbacks, so they're always 10 steps ahead. And here's the best part. Because they are mentally prepared for the worst, they handle it better than anyone else. No panic, no emotional breakdowns, just calm, calculated action. This is why Sigma males win in the long run. They don't rely on luck, hope, or wishful thinking. They prepare for reality, and when reality hits, they're ready. While others are shocked and broken, Sigma males just keep moving, unshaken, unstoppable, and always in control. 5. They have infinite comeback energy. The Sigma male's resilience. Most people treat failure like a full stop, one big setback, and they crumble. They lose motivation, start making excuses, or worse, convince themselves they were never meant to succeed in the first place. Sigma males don't operate like that. They can be knocked down 1,000 times and still get back up like nothing happened. Not because they're reckless, not because they enjoy suffering, but because they've trained their minds to see failure as fuel, not defeat. The difference in perspective. Here's the difference. Most people take failure personally. They attach their ego to the outcome. So when they fail, they feel like a failure. But Sigma males detach. They don't see failure as a reflection of their worth. To them, it's just data, a lesson, a test, a stepping stone to something greater. That's why nothing ever truly breaks them. They don't spiral into self-doubt or pity when things go wrong. Instead, they analyze what happened, make adjustments, and go again stronger, smarter, and more precise than before. The unstoppable comeback. They don't waste energy crying over the fall because they're already focused on the comeback. And this is what makes them unstoppable. Most people have a limit to how many times they can get back up before they quit. Sigma males don't. Their resilience isn't dependent on motivation, luck, or external validation. It's built into their mindset. They expect setbacks, so when they happen, it's just another rep in their mental training. That's why they keep rising while others stay down. That's why they always find a way forward, no matter how many times life hits them. Because in the end, the world doesn't belong to the ones who never fall. It belongs to the ones who refuse to stay down. 6. They have no fear of starting over. The Sigma male's fearlessness. Most people fear failure not because of the pain, but because of what comes next. The thought of starting over, of rebuilding from nothing, terrifies them. They cling to their failing jobs, relationships, or businesses, desperately trying to keep something alive that should have been buried long ago. But Sigma males don't have that fear. If something isn't working, they don't hesitate to burn it down and rebuild. They're not emotionally attached to their past successes or their previous efforts. If they have to start over, they do it without hesitation because they trust themselves, not their circumstances. The advantage of self-trust. This mindset makes them nearly unbreakable. You can take everything from a Sigma male, his job, his money, his reputation, but he will rebuild, and he will do it better than before. Why? Because he understands a simple truth. Failure isn't the end. It's just a reset button. While others see failure as a full stop, Sigma males see it as a comma. They don't waste time crying over what they lost because they know they still have the most valuable thing of all, themselves. Their skills, their knowledge, their resilience. That's what built their success in the first place, and that's what will build it again. The freedom of starting over. And here's what most people don't realize. Freedom comes from knowing you can always start over. When you're no longer afraid to lose, you become unstoppable. While others make desperate, fear-based decisions just to hold on to what they have, Sigma males move with confidence, knowing that even if everything crumbles, they will rise again. That's what makes them bulletproof. They don't fear destruction because they are destruction. If something isn't working, they'll tear it down themselves and build something stronger. Because at the end of the day, they don't rely on luck, circumstances, or safety nets. They rely on themselves. 7. They train their mind like a weapon. The Sigma male's mental discipline. Most people let their minds run wild. Filled with doubt, fear, and distractions, they crumble under pressure because they've never trained themselves to handle discomfort. Sigma males don't leave their mental strength to chance. They train their minds like a weapon, sharpening it, conditioning it, and making it unbreakable. For them, mental toughness isn't optional. It's the foundation of everything. They know that success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about being able to take the hit and keep moving. Every setback, every loss, every rejection, it's just another rep in their mental gym. The advantage of mental conditioning. While others fall apart when things don't go their way, Sigma males use failure to make themselves stronger. They treat their mind like a muscle. The more resistance they face, the stronger they get. When life throws obstacles in their way, they don't complain, they adapt. When things don't go as planned, they don't sit around feeling sorry for themselves. They recalibrate. Over time, this conditioning makes them impossible to shake. This is why you can't rattle a Sigma male. He's already trained for the worst. You can take away his resources, throw him into chaos, or try to break him. But his mind is already wired for resilience. The power of mental control. Where most people drown in stress, he remains calm, focused, and in control. And here's the brutal truth. If you can control your mind, you can control everything else. The world is unpredictable. Life is unfair. Weak people waste time complaining about it. Sigma males prepare for it. They forge their minds into something sharper than steel, stronger than stone, and more dangerous than any weapon. That's what makes them unstoppable. While others fold under pressure, they rise, adapt, and come back stronger. Because at the end of the day, their greatest weapon isn't their strength, their skills, or their resources. It's their mind. 8. They attack weakness without mercy. The Sigma male self-audit. Most people see their weaknesses and make excuses. That's just how I am. It's too hard to change. I'll deal with it later. But Sigma males don't tolerate weakness. Not in others, and definitely not in themselves. If they spot a flaw, they don't ignore it. They attack it. They aren't interested in comforting lies. If they lack discipline, they fix it. If they're emotionally reactive, they train themselves to stay calm. If they're lacking in skills, knowledge, or strength, they put in the work. No complaints, no shortcuts, just pure self-improvement. The brutal truth about weakness. Because here's the brutal truth. Weakness is a liability. It gives the world a way to control you, manipulate you, and keep you from reaching your full potential. Sigma males don't accept that. They self-audit constantly. They are their own harshest critics, not in a way that breaks them, but in a way that builds them. They ask the hard questions, and once they identify the problem, they don't dwell on it. They fix it, while others get defensive or avoid discomfort. Sigma males embrace it. They know that real power comes from facing yourself head-on, without filters, without ego, and without fear. The advantage of constant evolution. That's why they keep evolving while others stay stagnant. Most people live their whole lives avoiding their weaknesses, pretending they don't exist. Sigma males hunt theirs down, destroy them, and rebuild themselves stronger. This is why they are bulletproof from failure. Every setback is an opportunity to refine, sharpen, and upgrade. Where others make excuses, they make adjustments. Where others settle, they push forward. And that's why, in the long run, they always come out on top. 9. They do what's necessary, not what's comfortable. The Sigma male's work ethic. Most people are prisoners of comfort. They want success, but only if it's easy. They dream big, but avoid the work that actually makes those dreams happen. And when life demands something difficult, whether it's discipline, sacrifice, or facing hard truths, they hesitate, make excuses, or walk away. Sigma males don't have that weakness. They don't operate based on what feels good. They operate based on what needs to be done. If something is brutal but necessary, they don't flinch. Waking up early to grind? Done. Cutting off toxic people? Done. Admitting when they're wrong and fixing their mistakes? Done. The difference between comfort and greatness. They don't let their emotions or laziness make decisions for them. They execute without hesitation. This is what separates them from the average person. The average person looks for shortcuts. They chase dopamine instead of discipline. They avoid discomfort at all costs, even if it means staying weak, stagnant, or dependent on others. But Sigma males understand a simple truth. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Everything worth having, strength, wisdom, independence, comes at a price. It requires struggle, pain, and sacrifice. And while most people shy away from that, Sigma males embrace it, the advantage of discomfort. If something is hard but necessary, they lean in. They train their minds to withstand discomfort because they know that's where real power is built. That's why they succeed where others fail. Do you resonate with the ideas I shared in this video? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in more content about Sigma males, explore the other videos on this channel. Thanks for watching.